Hello everyone, welcome back to The Addicted Bookworm, where my addiction's all over the internet. On this channel, I do library book hauls, book reviews, both physical and digital, audiobooks, and so much more. Alright, I have been back from the heat for quite a while, and yeah, I hope all of you had or whatever, haven't had a great Monday. Um, yeah, it's hot out. It's hot out. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's hot. It's hot. All right, so today marks the halfway point of me reading Dungeon Crawling Carl. I'm currently on chapter 31 right now. I was going to read 31 all the way to 35, but I ended up the going to a place called Game Exchange to sell some pop figures. So, anyways, we're at the halfway point of the book, and I will say that normally when we talk about books that have a lot of hype behind them, um, a lot of them are severe disappointments. You're told this book is excellent, this book is amazing, you need to read this book will change your life, and all that type of stuff. And then it turns out to be one of the worst books you ever read in your life. It's like the hype generally is like, I don't really care. I don't care. But everybody for like 3, 4, 5 months kept on talking about Dungeon Crawling Carl by Matt something. And I kept on being like, this book is overhyped. I had the whole thing with Onyx Storm I was trying to get through, which everyone knows from that video took me close to about 6 months to read. It was not a good book at all. I literally, if it's taken me forever to read a book, like it's taken me like 2, 3, 4 years to read a book, it's most likely not interesting at all or good. The only exception, of course, was Holly, which was more of a mood thing than, is the book any good? And then, of course, Here's to My Sweet Satan, which I bought years ago as an ebook, and it took me like that long to read it. but it was an overhyped book. It was a book that came out, I believe, in the like early 2000s. I don't even remember what year that book came out. Anyways, so halfway point of Dungeon Crawling Carl, and I'm at like 56% of the book finished, and I'm actually going to go ahead and get the audiobook version, and I'll explain why I'm doing that in a little bit. But we have a character of Carl, and he's in his boxers with like no shoes, because he doesn't think he's going anywhere. He thinks he's not going anywhere. There's nothing exciting going to happen in his life. He's got this girlfriend who's rich, because her family raised and shows Persians. She's got this Persian cat called Princess Donut. She has a longer name, but she calls her Donut. And so his girlfriend has gone to Hawaii with her friends, and what he doesn't know is that one of the friends that is going with her is her ex-boyfriend. Well, she posts it on Instagram, and Carl breaks up with her over the phone. I don't know if he texted her or what, but yeah, she was drunk apparently. So what happens is Donut decides to get out, and I mean, Donut has her own room, like. Well, she used to have her own room. Now she doesn't have her own room. With like all her ribbons, and which are now being currently harvested. And suddenly, like he's out there, and he's got this annoying neighbor. We all have annoying neighbors. I got an annoying neighbor across the hall. Like annoying. Like annoying and has to know what everybody's doing. So what happens is all of a sudden there's this alien invasion and everything goes flat. And if you're inside, when your place that you live or work or whatever goes flat, you're dead. Though not for all of them. There's some that actually become like bosses. So because Carl was outside, tried to get Donut back so he could get her inside, he's spared. So there's like 13 million people that are still alive on the entire planet. And so literally almost the entire like population of people are gone. And they're mining the earth for its natural resources, and that also includes organic and inorganic thing. And so what ends up happening is they're given an option. Either you can stay out here, and I don't know what will happen if you do, because that is thankfully not explored. Though I don't know if it's going to in later books. Or you can join this really super highly popular game where you fight bosses and get magic items. It's, So Carl goes down into the dungeon. Donut actually goes first, and he follows. And what ends up happening is she eats this pet biscuit thing, and she suddenly develops the ability to talk and all that type of stuff. And yeah, and so his adventure begins. And there's a total of 18 levels in the dungeon, and and nobody has gotten to level 18. Somebody said there's probably cobwebs. I'm at the point in the book where him and a couple other crawlers have defeated the Ball of Swine, which is bizarre. It is bizarre. So I've got I've got a good number of chapters to go. So there's like 47 chapters in the book, and I'm on chapter 31. So as I said, when I heard about this, I was like, this is an overhyped book, just like all the other ones you see on Book Talk and BookTube and all that. There's no way in hell I'm going to read this book. Finally, after so many videos that seem to suddenly pop up on my freaking thing, not on TikTok, which was absolutely weird, because literally nobody on Book Talk was talking about dungeon crawling Carl, or I might have been on the wrong side of Book Talk. So after constantly being bombarded by these videos about how great this book actually is, I said, okay, alright. If this book is on Kindle Unlimited, I will check it out. But I don't expect it to be any good. It's just going to be one of those god-awful books. And it's a series, so it's going to be even worse. So I got it. So I went on Amazon, checked it out. Sure enough, it was on Kindle Unlimited, but it was like you could buy it for like $2. And I know, you don't own anything that you purchase digitally, but for the sake of this video and sake of my vocabulary, I'll say I bought the book. So, or that you can buy the book. So I go and I am basically, downloaded onto my Kindle, and I started sitting down and started reading this book, and I said, okay, I'm going to give it to chapter 5. If this book is really, really bad, I'm going to DNF it, and, I didn't buy it, so I'm not losing any money. So I went and I read the first chapter, and I thought, okay, this is an interesting premise. So I said, okay, 4 more chapters, and then if I don't like it, I'll DNF it, all that. I got to chapter 5, and I was like, wow, this is not a bad book. That's like, I'll give it 5 more chapters. I'll give it 5 more chapters. And if I don't like, when chapter 11 comes around, I don't like it, I will DNF it. So, read it all the way to chapter 11. Absolutely loved Princess Donut, and I wanted to know more about what she was going to do. So I spent $2, or maybe $2.15, got the first book, and I am like, okay, we're doing something here. And so I literally have been reading it. It's been, I got it last month when I was still working for where I was working, and I now have on Kindle Unlimited the second book because I'm almost done with the first book. However, as I said earlier, I'm going to get the audiobook version of it because after I read it and give a review of the book, which I should be done with the book on Wednesday, I'm going to go back and listen to it on the audiobook because I want to hear how this narrator brings these characters to life. So, what I will do is, once I get to the halfway point of the audiobook, I will, of course, do a halfway review of it, which will probably be chapter 31, and then I will finish it off, and then I will give my review, and I will basically talk of the difference between the either e/physical book and the audiobook version of the book. And then after that, I will move on to book 2, and and if I get to chapter whatever, and I'm like loving it, then I will like buy it. Oh Lord, oh I hate that. So that's what I'm gonna do. So like when I get to like chapter 5, I will. I'll make a decision if I'm going to get the third book on Kindle Unlimited. And then when I get to whatever chapter, maybe chapter 11, I may decide to go ahead and buy the ebook and probably include with the audiobook version of the book. And then when I get to the halfway point and I still am loving it, I'll get the third book. So I'm not really counting on, like, I don't know when the 8th book is coming out. People are really excited about the 8th book. But hopefully hopefully it won't be too long, because the great thing about having the audiobook version of it is that I can actually, if I want to go back and listen to it, I can listen to it. Anyways, so yeah, so I went out and I basically returned some items, sold some items, got some money for it, got a pizza. I would pay my brother back for the pizza that he bought for me. By the way, pizza. And yeah, I mean, Dungeon Crawling Carl was very surprising at this point in the book. And I will do a full book review when I am done with the ebook. And like I said, I'll probably be doing that video on Wednesday. Oh, sorry. Another thing I want to also say is that tonight I will be listening to the chapter 3 of Amusing Ourselves to Death. And I will do that video tomorrow, but it won't be up. Well, actually, I'm going to do the video today, but I won't upload it until Wednesday. So anyways, I am going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.